their homes, and because of the interest rates going up and up. So yeah, it's a little bit hard on the people, but they were saying that they're going to try to help them, but they say that all the time, but they don't do it. Over.
That's the same here, Mick. The interest rates went so high. And, somebody that's got like an $800,000 mortgage or something, they can't afford it anymore. So mortgage rates are up, rent is up, grocery prices are up, fuel is up, and the wages aren't going up. That's the problem.
That's exactly what's happening down here too, Joe. I think it's happening around the world. Everything's doubled in price. Like the diesel, to buy petrol and diesel here at the moment, it's just gone up. Diesel's gone up in our town to $2. I think it was $2.03 per litre, Joe. Over.
It's expensive. It's probably pretty similar here too, Mick, because for the lowest grade of regular gas, it's about 168.9 a liter, 168.9 a liter for just the cheapest regular grade of gas. It's a ripoff.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, mate. When I was in the States back, in 2000, I think it was 2015, when I was in the States, petrol was only $1.90, I think it was $1.95 or $1.98 a gallon, Joe. And that was bloody cheap, eh?
I know, they got it made. I know, I can't believe. And even some of the other provinces here, believe it or not, like if you go to Alberta, it's like really cheap per liter. It's like just over 99 cents a liter or something like that. But here, they gouge us. They just gouge us. And, like I say, the people up on top there, the government, I call them the Prime Minister, Trudeau, those guys keep giving themselves raises while the people struggle.
Yeah, exactly the same here, mate. Yeah, it's funny, they always get their rises, the politicians have had another, $2,000 rise or whatever. And it's like, man, they get that much, and when they give you a rise, a worker, they might give you like $2 a week rise. It's like, come on, man, it's unfair, it's unjust what you're doing, but no one can do anything about it at all.
I know, it's a total joke, isn't it? You know the way it works, Mick? The more you make, the more they take. That's what it is. The more money you make here, the more they tax you. And that's the way it's been here in Canada. It's I just want to get rid of this government. This government is just terrible. I can't stand them. And I'm glad I live far away from Ottawa. I'm a 5-hour flight or so away from Ottawa. Thank God I'm on this little island off the Pacific coast. It seems like I'm a million miles away from all that bullshit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Joe. Bullshit. Exactly. They take off the people. There's a lot of people in Australia losing their homes, and it's pretty sad to see. They let them get in debt, and then they up the interest rate, and that's a problem. Because a lot of people borrow the max to get what they want, and all they need is a couple of interest rate hikes, and they're done, and they lose everything. So it's pretty bad. The government should have made a cap where they can only borrow X amount. But yeah, I don't know, it's pretty sad that, imagine buying your house and then, a couple of years into it, you lose it because you can't meet the repayments. It'd be shocking.
That's exactly what's happening. And like I say, younger people can't even afford houses these days. Some of them are probably still living at home, renting, the parents' basement. But I see a lot of houses for sale since the interest rates went up. And if it gets really bad, there'll be even foreclosures too. People just, they can't make any payments. They just walk away from it.
Yeah, well, that's been starting to happen here where people can't meet the repayments, so the banks take them back. It's pretty bad. There should be some type of government assistance to help them, and then once they get on their feet, they pay it back. But I don't know if there is any of that assistance around. I'm not sure. I've paid my house also. I don't know, but I know it'd be pretty rough if you're a young fella and a young couple trying to, get into your first house. Man, that's crazy. But the government doesn't seem to care, right?
No, they don't care. They make a lot of money, the government. And like I say, they keep making more. I have 3 grown kids, and my 3 grown kids, they have good jobs, but they still have to rent. They can't afford houses. They live over on the Big Island, on Vancouver Island. And like I say, they all have really good paying jobs, but the housing market is just so bloody expensive to buy a house these days. It's different than we were younger. But nowadays, it's so much harder to get into the housing market. You have to make a shit ton of money, and you have to have a big down payment.
Yeah, that's correct, Joe. 100%. When I bought my first home back in, I'm just trying to think when I bought it, 90s, I think it was 94, 95. I paid 65,000 Australian dollars to buy that house, and that house today is worth over $1 million. Over $1 million. So if you're a young person and you want to buy that house, you'll be paying over $1 million for it,
Absolutely, you got it, man, and that's the way it is here too. I bought my first house in 1986. I was 22. I got married, and I got married over in Hawaii. Came back, and I had my house to come into there, but I paid about $75,000, and I mean it's all relative. Wages were less back then, but that house now is worth, like you say, they're way up over $1 million, and the average person can't even buy that. They can't afford it.
Yeah, like imagine being a young fella, Joe, say being 20 or even 25, and you go to buy a house, and the house is going to cost you, I don't know, 800,000. You're probably never going to pay that off, mate.
No, and at the interest rates, can you imagine how much you're paying on a mortgage on 800,000? And there's a lot of people that kind of like to live high in the hog. They want their Mercedes or their Range Rovers and their big fancy schmancy house. So they take out a $900,000 mortgage, and they're paying through the nose every month on that payment.
Yeah, all we got to do is miss a couple of payments, and the banks will be right on to them to take them back. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I think, Joe, we grew up at the right time, mate. I think we grew up in the right time to be young, and I feel sorry for the young ones today because they're going to do it hard for the rest of their life, like financial-wise,
Oh yeah, I agree, Mick. It would be a tough time to be growing up at this time. I'm glad I grew up in the 80s, 70s and 80s. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good time. I think it's a pretty effed up world right now, man. It's just, this world is a crazy world.
Chicago, not Melbourne. Yeah, you got that right. I think we did. I think we had the best music, the best cars, and the best time, and the best interest rate. I think we did, mate. I think hello, it's Underworld, just been seeing any of you. So, thank God for that, over.
I agree with you, man. We did. Great music, and great cars, and just had a good time, man. And it wasn't as crazy as it was nowadays. I don't know. I guess you probably like the Aussie bands. I like the Aussie bands. How about AC/DC?
Yeah, no, they're cool. They're just one of the they're good, man. I like their music. I used to really get into Bob Dylan. I like Bob Dylan, but Bob Seger. I actually really like Bob Seger music,
Oh yeah, Bob Seger's great. And I love Bob Seger, and I used to listen to Billy Thorpe a lot, and Rose Tattoo. You remember Rose Tattoo and Billy Thorpe?
I remember them. My brother used to be crazy on Billy Thorpe, but Rose Tattoo, they're great. Angry Anderson, they're a great band. I love that music. Yeah, that's all pretty cool. It's pretty hard rock music, isn't it?
That's the stuff I used to listen to. And Flash in the Pan. Flash in the Pan was an Aussie band too back in the day.
Yeah, right, Yep, they were. Have you ever heard of that band from Australia called Skyhawks?
No, Skyhawks. No, I don't think I've heard of them.
Well, they were very popular back in the 70s and early 80s. Very popular in Australia. You should listen to their music. Get on YouTube when you have some time and type in Skyhawks, and you'll see all their music come up. It's pretty cool music, over.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure. I'll get into YouTube. How about Fastway? Do you remember a group called Fastway?
What was that, Joe? I'm getting some noise building up on the channel.
It was called Fast Way. Fast Way. They were kind of a metal band from Australia.
I can't say I've heard of that band. I can't say I've heard of that band, and they were Aussies, were they?
They were Aussies too, yeah. And then there's another one called Angel City. Have you heard of Angel City?
Angel City, no. No, I haven't heard of them either. Have you heard, in the 80s, were a band called The Angels. The Angels, have you heard of that band over?
Yeah, that rings a bell too. I used to go to a lot of rock concerts when I was younger, man. I love music, eh? And but I've seen a lot of Aussie bands, and I did see AC/DC in concert over 40 years ago, just after Bon Scott died. They're great.
Yeah, they're a good band. What do you think of Bon Scott as a singer? Did you like his music, or did you like the other guy's music, the Canadian singer, over?
Well, I started listening to AC/DC back in probably 1977, and I remember when they put out Highway to Hell Highway to Hell back in 1979. I loved Bon Scott. I liked his voice, and it took me a while to get used to Brian Johnson, but you know what? I think they're equally as good. They just got a different style. I mean, Brian Johnson's been with the band since 1980, and he rocks it, man.
Oh, yeah, he's a good singer. He's a good singer. I like both of them. Bon Scott was I used to love that Jailbreak. Have you heard that song, Jailbreak, and TNT and all that stuff?
I have all their albums, buddy. I have all their albums. My wife is Scottish, and actually Bon Scott and Angus Young are actually Scottish, believe it or not. And she likes the song A Long Way to the Top where they're playing the bagpipes.
Yeah, that's a good song too, mate. Yeah, no, they had some great music. Great music. And then they brought out Black in Black album, and that was a great album. Yeah, they were a good band. They went a long way. They went a long, long way over.
They did. You know, Bon Scott died this month in 1980, so it's been 34 years now. But yeah, no, out of both of the singers, I do prefer Bon Scott. He was a great front man, a good showman, and he just had that very unique voice. So and I know Jailbreak, absolutely, man. That was that Jailbreak that came out a long time ago. I think like 1975 or something.
Yeah, it was around that time. Have you heard the other Aussie singer? What was his name? In Excess. I'm just trying to think of the singer's name. He's dead now. He took his life. But In Excess. Have you heard that band?
Yeah, that's Brian Hutchins. His name was it Brian Hutchins? Hutchins. He committed suicide. He was good. I love In Excess. I had their album Shabu Shaba. I bought it in like 1982 or 83.
Yeah, that's right. That's his name. Yeah. That type of music is just it lives forever, doesn't it? It's just got that. You can listen to it 30 years later and still love it when you first heard it. The music's really good. There's some great bands around, mate. But I don't think you can beat the bands of our era. You know, they were just the best, mate. The music today, I don't think much of it, over.
Yeah, I'm not much into it either, and I don't like rap music. I'm not into that stuff. I mean, to each his own, but I'm not into the rap. I like the old school stuff. I like the 60s, 70s, and the 80s music, man. That was the music. That was the best music.
That had some, you could understand what they were singing about. That rap crap, that's just gangster shit. That's just someone talking fast. That's not music. I always say to my grandson when he's listening to his music, I said, that's not music. You can't even understand what they're singing about.
I agree with you. Yeah, some people say rap is crap. I remember listening to Black Sabbath because I like Black Sabbath. And my mom used to say to me when I was a teenager, she says, how can you listen to that noise? She goes, you're going to grow out of that when you're older. She says, you're going to grow out of that. And I still listen to it.
Yeah, well, I guess it's, you'll be saying that when your kids were younger, how can you listen to that? And they'll be saying to their kids, how can you listen to that? I guess we're all going to have different tastes. But, I love stirring my grandson up about the music he listens to, and man, it's crap.
I know what you mean. I think my youngest son is into that stuff too. And yeah, that's definitely not my thing. I rather listen to Deep Purple or something, or Golden Earring. That's the stuff I like. It's definitely got some good beat to it, that's for sure. But yeah, it's a different time we live in, that's for sure, man. The '80s, God, seems like yesterday, but when you look back, they were so long ago.
Time's flying, isn't it? Time's really motoring along. Yeah, really motoring along. Do you like Black Sabbath? And what's the other band? Do you remember the old band in the 70s? Sweet, Fox on the Run, Teenage Rampage, War and Blitz. Do you remember them songs?
Oh, absolutely. I had their albums. You know, I had a big album collection I sold about 2.5 years ago. I had about 700 or 800 albums, and I had that album, Desolation Boulevard. It had Fox on the Run and Ballroom Blitz. They were from Scotland. That was a good band, Sweet.
Yeah, when I probably was about 16 when Fox on the Run came out, maybe 15. And I just fell in love with that band. I thought they were so cool. And the other one was, the other band, what was the other band I was into? Oh, you know who I was into as a young bloke? Talking about female singers, it was Blondie. I thought she was fantastic and hot.
Oh my God, I had such a crush on her. Mick, I was in love with Deborah Harry. I was actually even in her fan club. And they used to send me, every few months, they'd send me like a program, kind of like, you know, just different things about her and the band. I loved Blondie. I had all their albums. Parallel Lines was a good one.
Yeah, no, she was grouse, mate. She was a real good front woman, you know. Good music, taking me back now to all the good music, brother.
Oh yeah, no, I love Blondie. For female artists, she was definitely the top. She was my favorite. I had, you know, when you have a crush on somebody famous, well, that was it. It was Blondie, Deborah Harry, man. I never did see them in concert, but I sure wanted to. And you said Black Sabbath. That is actually my favorite band. I love Black Sabbath. I've seen them in concert, and I've seen Ozzy 3 times.
Yeah, he's crazy, Ozzy, but yeah, good music. I love that song, Changes. Yeah, that song, they sing Changes. I reckon that was a great song, over.
Yeah, that was on Volume 4. That was on the album Volume 4. It came out like 1972 or something. That was a great song. But, I guess, the bands, they were just, I don't know. I guess, you didn't probably, I'm surprised you know so many Aussie bands, eh? I know a lot of Aussie bands, man. Probably because I've seen a lot of concerts. I used to go to a lot of them. And, yeah, no, love the Aussie bands. I think AC/DC, no doubt, is probably the most famous. I think Little River Band, too, LRB, they're Australian.
Yeah, Little River Band, yeah, they got some good music as well. Yeah, they were pretty good. I didn't know they were pretty popular in the US.
Oh yeah, they're very popular over here. Same with Billy Thorpe. Do you remember Billy Thorpe, Children of the Sun?
Billy Thorpe?
Yeah, he's Australian. Billy Thorpe. Do you remember him from the early 80s?
Yeah, Billy Thorpe. My older brother used to be into his music. Yeah, he was pretty good. He had some different type of music, over.
Yeah, he was good. He passed away a while ago. And there's another one. He's actually a newer guy out of Australia, and he's got this really good song. You'd have to look him up on YouTube, called Dope Lemon. Have you heard of Dope Lemon? He's Australian.
I can't say I have, but I will look him up, yeah. Can't say I have. I haven't been listening to music for ages, you know. I mean, I've been too busy, but, you know, after this convo, I might head back home, might put the old tape deck on and have a listen on the back veranda, over.
You gotta like that, having a tape deck. You remember the old cassette tapes there? And, well, first it was the 8-tracks, then the cassettes, then they came out with the CDs, and now all of those things are kind of a thing of the past. I think everybody just kind of downloads stuff onto their iPhone.
Yeah, Roger, most of the people nowadays, I think, just download it off the net, don't they? And put it on the MP3s or whatever. I think that's what they call MP3s. I'm not up with the times with computers, but yeah, I think that's what they do now. They don't have CDs or anything like that. Yeah, it's all this MP3 or they just download it to their
That's exactly what they do. Yeah, even MP3s and iPods are a thing of the past there, Mick. It's all downloaded onto the computer or your iPhone. And I mean, you can put thousands of songs on there. Even in the vehicles now, my little truck has a CD player in it. That's old school already. That's a thing of the past.
I still like to get it out. I've got a few of the old tape decks, the tapes. I still got them. I'll get them out. I know I can go on the computer and play them. Probably, I don't know. But I can take the tape deck outside and just plug it in. I'll be doing that. But yeah, I suppose if you want, if you want to do it on your computer, it's easy. Just go on, what's that? We've got an app here. I think you'd have it as well. It'd be around the world. I'm just trying to think what the name of it is.
Spotify?
I can't remember it offhand.
Spotify. I think it's Spotify.
Yeah, that's the one, Spotify. Spotify there, John. I'm starting to you, mate. You're starting to drop down on me and the noise level's coming up. You dropped down on that last over. I just got you on that last over.
Yeah, so we should sign off pretty quick before we lose each other, Mick. We've been talking for over 40 minutes. We've been QSOing for over 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think you said we were QSOing over 40 minutes. We always talk a long time, Joe. We always, I've got something to talk about, eh? All right, mate, I'm going to say 73, so I don't want you to disappear on me in the study there. So I'll catch you later, Joe. Have some good DX out there, mate.
All right, Mick. Hey, buddy. That was a pleasure to talk to you. And yeah, 40-minute QSO is pretty darn good. I think we beat our last record. So cheers and beers to you, Nick. And I hope we can talk sooner than later. Have a good day down there in Australia. Until we talk again. Unit 20 down there in Australia. UDX 791, Gulf Islands, North Pacific, waving.
Yeah, okay, Joe. I think you finished. I'm not sure. I got this, it sounds like Asians in the background. Hey, 73, mate. I hope you're hearing me. And we'll definitely talk again. Have a great evening. Always a pleasure to talk to you, mate. UDX 791, 20 down south. Catch you later, mate.
All right, cheers to you, Mick. Cheers and beers and 73s. UDX 791 QSX. Wow, 40 minutes. Over 40 minutes. I think 43 minutes, 42 minutes. It's a two-part video. This is part 2 of part 1. So I'll upload the first one maybe. Well, it doesn't matter which order I put them in. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We usually talk. That's Mick down in Melbourne, Australia.